Hola, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I welcome you and I'm honored to share the space with each and every one of you. So today I am talking about the current energy happening right now in the cosmos and how it correlates and relates to our nervous system. And so this may sound like a stream of consciousness. I feel called to simply share how this energy may be showing up for us individually and also collectively. So let's get right into it. Mars has entered the sign of Aquarius. Mars is about choices. It is about initiation. It is about taking action towards one's desires. It is the choices that we make. Mars represents the divine masculine, and the divine masculine has been permanently changing over the last 6 or 7 years. You can even take stock of what you have been shifting and transforming, letting go of, and renewing over the last 6 to 7 years. And you could even reference 2020 as a very important year when this initiation of change and shift started to happen. And so it's really important to know that all of the personal planets are in the sign, the early degrees of Aquarius right now. And Mars is the caboose. So Mars is ushering and supporting uh, these parts of us to move forward and allow the old consciousness to dismantle. Okay. And the divine feminine, which is Venus from this perspective, is leading the way. So she is in the sign of Aquarius, and behind her is Mercury. Behind Mercury is the sun, and then it's Pluto. So these personal planets are meeting up with the planet Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. And so we are deeply and permanently changing on a soul evolutionary level. And we have been preparing for this particular time. You could take a moment and sit with that and ask yourself, what does that look like for you? So, right now, I'm just preparing to pull up the chart. And while I am speaking, it's important to remember and to learn in case this may be new for you. Venus represents how we relate to ourselves. And she is our inner voice. She is our values. She is how we talk to ourselves and how we speak to ourselves, meaning it's listening to your inner voice, listening to that guidance, and really honing in on your inner critic, right? And how loud that is, how you are in relationship with yourself. Mercury is the mind. Mercury represents diversity and options, choices. And it's about gathering information in order to define your own truth. And the sun represents our creative purpose. It is the current version of ourselves that is creatively self-actualizing a vision. In Aquarius, it is about the long-term vision. And so, how are we expressing this part of ourselves and what are we creating for the long term? Pluto represents metamorphosis. Pluto is your emotional body. Pluto is the depths of your psyche. Pluto is metamorphosis, transformation, and it is going from the caterpillar to the butterfly, going from one shape to a whole new form. Pluto is about truth. Pluto is about empowerment. And each one of these planets, is ruled by a sign, and every single planet, every single sign, every single archetype has a natural expression and a distorted expression. So we're not going to get too much into that right now. But it's important to know that when we experience a Pluto transit, and right now we are all collectively experiencing a Pluto transit. If you have any planets or points at the early degrees of Aquarius, this is definitely something that you are feeling on a personal level. And this doesn't even include the fixed signs, Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus, who are all then um, also experiencing this transit in maybe a very, what can be an intense way that really does initiate change and transformation. It's tension, right? And so, if you have any planets or points at the early degrees of Aquarius, you are definitely feeling this on a more personal level, like I said. And Aquarius does relate to the nervous system. So, this is something that this is, something we experience in the body. This is something that we can describe as frenetic, right? The intensity level of a frenetic energy. And so, to really just tap into that and be in tune with that. And so we are permanently shifting and changing on a soul level because the personal planets are traveling with Pluto and Aquarius and moving beyond Pluto into a new phase. And so there are choice points. There are intense, drastic changes that are maybe taking place in your personal life and also within the collective. We are seeing this in the world at large. And now that Mars has entered the sign of Aquarius, you can maybe take a moment and reflect back to December of 2020 when Jupiter and Saturn were at 0 degrees of Aquarius, beginning a brand new symbiotic cycle. And uh, the world itself shifted so much in 2020, but that was definitely a defining moment. And Mars is now at that same degree point. And on the 27th, will conjunct Pluto. And the way that this can be expressed is very war-like. And I'm not saying that to fearmonger or to make anybody afraid. The reality is we are already witnessing that in many ways from a collective world stage level. And then this can show up in your personal life as an equally powerful energy, but it doesn't have to be warlike. It can actually be standing in your truth, your own empowerment, and following through with the change that is necessary for you to be in alignment with your self-worth, your self-value, and your self-love, which then translates and expresses itself into your relationships. And that expresses itself, it's like a ripple effect, right? It then expresses itself within your communities. So the question that we need to ask ourselves right now is, how are we utilizing our intuition as a truth compass so that we intuitively, within our hearts, have a deep knowing around what is true and what is not? And this can really inform you as a way to know who you are wanting to invest your energy into, what you want to be investing your energy into, and who you do not, what you do not. We are shaping the new earth energy as a collective, moving towards unity consciousness. And we all have a choice in how we are going to contribute to this energy, contribute to the new earth being built, and really confronting what we are influenced by. And from there we can make the choice to engage and to create a world that is in alignment with our values. Another thing to remember is that our values can be very different from person to person, from country to country, and really just take inventory of what you're witnessing within your own personal life and within the world. We can really work with this energy as a way to come into community as individuals who are unique, have a voice, and at the end of the day are coming from a place of love, respect, integrity. And so I'm going to pull up the chart so that I can speak into how we are as a society, as a world, as a collective, are deeply shifting and transforming. And in many ways, we will never see and witness, experience this energy, these transits, these aspects in the way they're expressing themselves right now. And so, as you can see right here, Mars has entered the chat, has entered Aquarius, and will conjunct Pluto exactly on January 27th. So, really being aware of your own energy right now. I mean, this can show up as rage, this can show up as volatile. It can also show up as standing in your truth and your own empowerment, fighting for yourself and fighting for what you know is right. This can also be from a place of humility. So this can be a spiritual warrior. This can also be somebody who fights with their authentic presence and can do it peacefully. And so here we have the parade of planets. And as you can see, the sun has moved beyond Pluto and is still conjunct Pluto, and Mercury is here at 5 degrees. Venus is here at 7 degrees. And this is the energy that we are feeling in our bodies. And they have completed their, when they hit 29 degrees of Capricorn, they were sextiling this Saturn and this Neptune. So we are closing out very karmic cycles. And relationships with certain people are coming to an end because they are not meant to move forward in the new energy. And so what we can do with that is trust that and accept that. And so on a soul level, we are saying goodbye to lessons and very karmic cycles where we had a soul contract with certain people, certain patterns, certain behaviors, certain ways of life that are coming to an end. They're not meant to move forward with us. While at the same time, certain relationships are being renewed and formed because we are meant to move forward with those people. And so this Saturn will not ever, ever in this lifetime be conjunct Neptune in the sign of Pisces. Ever again in this life. These planets will never have a sextile with the personal planets in Capricorn in this life. And these planets in Aquarius are all ruled by this Uranus, which is in Taurus, which represents the body. Uranus represents our nervous system, just like Aquarius does. And so we are grounding in to the new sustainable future that we are building from a very deep, renewed soil level. And we are also dismantling the old consciousness, the old ways, the old relationships, because they're not in resonance with our truth. And we are moving forward as our own unique individual selves, choosing to partner and contribute to love, respect, integrity, unity, so that we can be in community together. And if people are not choosing that, that is where the polar split, the timeline split is happening. And this divide has been generating itself for years now. And at this point, this pivotal point, we are going to see it split even more. So check in with yourself and ask, what are you influenced by? What choices are you making? And are they in alignment with your values? And what are you openly willing to let go of with acceptance, trust, and harmony? I'm going to stop sharing. I think I'm going to end it there. I'm feeling the intuitive call to sit with that. So, thank you for being here. I am sending you oceans of love. Please check out my upcoming workshop that is designed to support you in connecting with your intuition, embodying that place of self-trust, and really relating to your own unique energy field, your seven chakras, from the perspective of the vagus nerve and our nervous system. I integrate the polyvagal theory. This is when science meets spirituality, and it is a supportive space where we connect in community and really allow you to tune in to your physical body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, and your mental body as a way to create a life that feels clear, authentic, inspiring, and in alignment with you, your unique energy, and your values. So I look forward to connecting with you there. The information is below. Please share this video, like, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments how you are experiencing this energy. What shifts are really taking place that you have been working towards since 2020 and maybe even 2019. I'm sending you oceans of love, and I will connect with you next time. Have a good day.